Well, this morning we all woke up in a brand new world because around 24 hours ago, Nintendo finally officially revealed the Nintendo Switch 2 to the world. As we all know, it was a crazy day. It's extremely exciting. Opinions are flying all over the place. Personally, I'm overjoyed about this because it's nice to just finally see the actual next generation console from Nintendo. It's been a long, crazy, winding road of chaos and maybe for some people even stress just to get here, man. Just to finally see the Switch 2. And again, the real Switch 2. Not just leaks, not just AI images, not just stuff taken from like a warehouse somewhere or people talking about things on Reddit and Fammy boards. It's like the real console. Nintendo finally said, "Here, you bunch of nerds, this is the real Switch 2. Now, of course, I did post and share my live reaction of the actual trailer itself. I had recorded that and made a video and had a breakdown and discussed all of my initial, knee-jerk thoughts, literally seconds and minutes after watching the official reveal trailer. So, if you watch that, then you know, like I even already mentioned actually in the video here, that I am somebody who's very excited. Yes, we did lose a lot of the initial punch and impact because of the leaks, but at the end of the day, it's another Switch, it's a more powerful Switch, and we will be getting the information and the games that we want in April, so while it stinks we have to wait a little bit, the fact that we know it's coming is honestly fine for me. You might not believe it, being someone who runs a YouTube channel for 10 years, actually 11 years here, but I actually am a pretty patient person, and just knowing that it's coming sometime soon and having an actual date to look forward to is enough for me to feel comfortable saying, look, yes, it's just another Switch and maybe something kookier would have been more fun, but at the end of the day, I'm glad to have it, I know it's going to be good, and once I see the games, I'll be really excited. But that doesn't change the fact that a lot of people out there maybe have some different opinions about the Switch 2 and the reveal, mostly stemming from the fact that a lot of folks feel like it was unexciting, or it was a boring reveal, or that the console itself is boring. And I think it would come as no surprise to any of us that I think a lot of what's influencing people who feel negative about the reveal or the Switch 2 console is coming from the fact that the leaks were going around out there for so many months. And as we know, and I even discussed on my reaction video yesterday, 90% of the leaks from the last, 5 or 6 months were real. Like, leaks from a year ago and a year and a half ago, I don't really know that much of those were real, because there were images and CG mock-ups and things that people were creating at the time that were peddled as leaks, and some people on Twitter or YouTube believed them or sold them to you as leaks in their own discussions and tweets and videos. If you go back and track some of those things, they weren't really very accurate. But, again, you fast forward to about 5 or 6 months ago, and suddenly, I think it really started with like that 3D CAD image, that CG CAD image, right? If memory serves me, whenever that happened, I want to say it was in the range of 6 months ago, around the summer maybe, that was like pretty close to accurate, including the big eject buttons on the back of the Joy-Cons. And then we started to see a lot more stuff come out. And then the last 3, 4, 5 weeks was even more insane than ever. We're getting docks, we're getting accessory manufacturers like D-Brand showing their cases. We're getting Genki walking around CES with like physical mock-ups of the Switch 2 and Joy-Cons that detach. I mean, and then Nintendo's lawyers went to visit them at CES and made them pack up shop and go home. Things went absolutely off the rails. And so, like I said, most of that stuff was pretty much accurate. And so, the real question and thesis statement of this video, and I'm probably going to title it this way so you would already know this, is if these leaks, all of these really accurate leaks from the past, couple of months or so, did they hurt, quote-unquote, the reveal of the Switch 2 in the eyes of some people? You've already heard me say it didn't hurt the reveal for me. I mean, in the sense that, I guess, yes, I already knew what the Switch 2 was going to be, so maybe the initial pop of seeing it for the first time was taken away from me, but my excitement for the Switch 2 still remains the same. I am all about it. It's fine. But when we talk about the people who are really either upset, angry, or even just like vocally disappointed, did these leaks hurt the Switch 2 and the reveal for those people? And I think the answer is yeah. I mean, for the most part, all of these leaks and all of these people who had this information and had these images, and even these like accessory manufacturers, whether or not they did or didn't break any sort of agreements or do anything legally wrong, I don't really know. But I do think it was still kind of shitty of them to do what they did. So that's just my own perspective. And I'm not trying to be the guy protecting the big billion-dollar corporation. It's not about that, because I'm not that kind of person. But just looking at it objectively as a fan, analyzing the business and Nintendo as a company, I think it was pretty lame what they did. And so, yeah, all of these people that leaked all this stuff, they got the anonymous clout they wanted, because pretty much all of them are hiding behind anime avatars and made up names on Reddit and Fammy boards. Like, get out of here. Weak. It's like super lame to be that way. So they got anonymous clout for a couple of months maybe, and that's it. And they ruined, I mean, again, ruin is a strong word, but they impacted the way a lot of people felt about the reveal, and they impacted Nintendo in a lot of ways, and probably even forced Nintendo's hand to pivot a little bit. Now, one thing to mention though, as we sit here talking about, did these leaks quote-unquote hurt the reveal of the Switch 2 for some people, maybe even for a lot of people. One thing to consider though, is that the attention the Switch 2 reveal is getting is still astronomically huge. So this is something where Nintendo is certainly not hurting when it comes to whatever these leaks were. Because as of almost 24 hours, let me pull it up here, actually. I should have had this prepared and I'm not. So I'm doing it in real time. So let me pull up the views on the Switch 2 trailer, you know, a little over 24 hours later on YouTube, which I am doing right now. And it is currently sitting at 15 million views in 24 hours, okay? That's huge. And I believe I saw somewhere someone confirmed that it's either keeping pace with the initial Switch's reveal trailer or maybe even is outpacing it. And then even beyond that, now look, views on Twitter are not actually the same as views on a site like YouTube, because people just scroll past things and it still counts as a view. And I honestly kind of hate that we live in a world where stupid old Twitter has become a place where there's views on tweets and but whatever. Point is, there's still some value to the metric at least, right? So, with that caveat, the views of the Nintendo of America Twitter video for the reveal of the Switch 2 is at 36 million as of right now. And on the Japanese video, it's like 46 or maybe even almost 50 million. So we're talking like well over 120 million views on the Switch 2 reveal trailer between YouTube and Nintendo of America Twitter and Nintendo of Japan Twitter. So there is a lot of attention, there's a lot of articles, there's a lot of people talking about it, there's a lot of views on these videos, and so it's definitely getting crazy attention. So from a numbers perspective, which probably will lead to a business perspective down the road, the Switch 2 reveal was not impacted by the leaks because everyone is still watching and talking about this thing, and a lot of people also feel very positive about it. But then when we talk about how people are reacting, that's where it's like, okay, are a lot of the negative reactions and the people who are being down and just kind of whining about this thing, were they impacted by the leaks? And so, yes, it just comes back to what I already said. I think that all these people that had the real information and the real images, I mean, we're talking about what the Joy-Cons look like. We're talking about even the mouse functionality of the Joy-Con. We're talking about the size and shape of the Switch 2. We're talking about what the kickstand looks like. We're talking about what the dock looks like. The only things we didn't see from the reveal were Mario Kart, the game, and like the grip for the Joy-Cons. That's about it. I mean, the fact that we got deep enough to see and understand the mouse functionality of the Joy-Cons, that's massive. That shows you how deep and how accurate these leaks got in the weeks leading up to the reveal. And so, yes, I think that for a lot of people who wanted to maybe be surprised by the Switch 2, they didn't get what they wanted because these leaks told us and showed us everything they needed to know. Now, one thought, an idea I want to impart upon you guys here in this video and conversation is that I firmly believe in my heart and soul that by the time April 2nd comes and we get the Nintendo Direct and we see the games, we understand hopefully how powerful the console is and how much better games are going to look on it, Switch 2 exclusive games in particular, and if we learn any other features we still don't know. I mean, mostly UI features. You have to think it's going to be UI features, right, that we're still waiting to understand, and just other system-based features. Once we learn all those things, I'm willing to bet that 95% of anyone complaining about how boring the Switch 2 looks and the reveal was because of the leaks, those people are probably not going to care anymore. It's going to become old news. People have a short memory. The internet has a short memory. Once this happens, and if it's good, like, let me leave a small, tiny little window open for the April Direct to be not good. I don't think that's going to happen. It's probably going to be awesome. I expect to see Metroid Prime 4 there. That's all I'm going to need, okay? But that's just me. Either way, there's a tiny window I'm leaving open for the Switch 2 Direct in April to maybe just be not good. We don't like what we learned about the Switch 2. We don't like the games. We don't like the price, the date, whatever. It's just not good. That being said, I like 99% think it's going to be good. So if it's good, the games are exciting, the graphics are great, the features of the Switch 2, the release date, all of that gets everyone excited. Everyone's going to forget about the fact that these leaks happened for 6 months up until the January reveal of the Switch 2. And a lot of people were like, oh, this is lame, this is boring, this is dumb, the leaks ruined it. And then they'll just be like excited again. Because that's how we are as game fans. Once the games are shown and actually look good, and if there's like 1 or 2 killer app titles on launch day for the Switch 2, Bob's your uncle, man. Game over. Everyone's just going to be excited again, just like I feel right now. And again, I'll even remind you that there is part of me that's like, oh, okay, I didn't have a pop. I wasn't like, oh my god, the Switch 2, watching that trailer because I had seen it. And again, you can watch my reaction to understand that. I was very like practical, matter of fact, just accepting seeing official imagery of stuff I had already known for weeks and months, basically. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, look, these leaks were real. That's that. I've seen that before. But when it was over, it was still like, wow, we've seen it. It's real. It's a better Switch. That's kind of what we all expected, and for years, that's what everyone was asking for. So then I was like, great, I know the next generation of Nintendo is coming. I've seen what it looks like. Sure, it's not exciting to look at because it's identical to the previous console, only a little bit bigger and sleeker, but now I know it's real, I know it's going to be more powerful, and I now get to wait for the games, which is going to be the real differentiating selling factor. So, and the mouse thing, by the way. So, just a preview of my next video. I want to make a video about the mouse feature of the Joy-Cons, and I'm pretty much going to tie it to Metroid, so hopefully you guys will be excited about that. But it's going to be discussing, I think, the practical elements of this mouse feature overall, as well as very much tying it to Metroid Prime 4, because that's my favorite thing ever, right? Even though I haven't played that game. You guys know me. I'm a Metroid fan. Prime 1 is my favorite game of all time, and Prime 4 is the thing that's kept me invested in video games for the last, like, 5 years, man. So I do plan on talking about that, but the whole point of this is to say, it looks great. I'm excited. Most people are excited, but yes, there is a pretty loud vocal, and I will even say large contingent of people who are a little bit disappointed. And the last point I'll say is, to a degree, it is okay for some people or some of you guys to be a little bit let down by it or just feel like it was kind of boring or whatever. The people really complaining and just being lame about it, like almost to an embarrassing degree, I think they're the ones who are overreacting. But if you're someone who's just like, oh man, the leaks ruined it, or I already knew this, or it wasn't exciting, it's just another Switch, blah, 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 there is a level of like, it's okay to feel that way to a degree. And just reserve judgment until we see the games in April. That's okay to a degree. But we know that there are the wackos out there who are just taking it a little too far and maybe being a little bit too overreactive and not waiting for more actual details and, most importantly, the games, which, again, we're all going to get in April. So these are my updated thoughts. This is day 2 of a Switch 2 world, man. Feels good. I'm excited. I don't care that the leaks ruined a lot of the reveal because it was nice to see. Metroid and the Switch 2 are coming my way in 2025. That's all I personally care about. So thank you guys for tuning in and watching, and I will see you next time.